Hello YouTube, my name is Travis Herndon, and today we are going to be talking about the concept of advertising and why it really matters when you look at it from a signal perspective, or maybe every possibility you can imagine. I like to think it's all about progress, because the thing with advertising is that it's basically like a bartering technique. You're trying to put an idea out there in exchange for something in return. And this is the golden rule that basically can define your lifestyle, how much money you make, and what you're basically allowed to do. If it's not for advertising, whether you're intentionally doing it or not, how do you become more successful? Progress. And I want people to realize that the only reason why people succeed in life is because they either advertised right or they just knew the right people. And some people think that making a lot of money is either luck based or it's not, or you gotta have like some kind of a degree and like, but it's just, you have to just have real life experience. I've met so many people with so many different professions, and I've learned so much, and I can even tell you what people do right and what people do wrong based on their mathematics and based on their progress. And hopefully with some of these tips and all this, we can really kind of break this down, why advertising can be one of the best things that you can do when it comes to making money, or just trying to put something out there because you want more people to see it, let's just say. So advertising by definition is basically to just, it's basically like suggesting something, to put something out there, and you're trying to put it in the public's view, bringing it to people's attention, in my own words rather. But if you're advertising something, the biggest mistake, it's like the hockey player Wayne Gretzky used to say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take in life. And with advertising, really there is no such thing as bad advertising, so as long as it's still getting the point across and you're doing it the way you want to. Because the thing is, you can say whatever you want in advertising, and the only thing you have to really persuade people is to believe that or to represent that cause. And of course, you got everybody else competing with each other, so that's the hard part. But if you take what I'm saying seriously, you know, there's more than one way to make money. There's definitely more than one way to advertise. You could become a multitasker and have a backup plan and still succeed. I'll use a good example. One of my favorites was Stephen Hillenburg's SpongeBob growing up. If you really look at like Stephen Hillenburg's life before he passed away, Stephen Hillenburg was an animator, but he was also a marine biologist in real life. And if at some point in his life he wanted to be an animator, but he just couldn't get the funding for what he originally had, so he went back to doing what he did in real life, and that was studying marine aquatic life forms. And when he eventually did get another chance at being an animator, he did something that was about marine biology. SpongeBob being, a fictional sponge that was based on, his adventures in the Pacific Ocean and the people of Bikini Bottom. Mr. Krabs, Plankton, Squidward, Patrick, Miss Puff, Mrs. Puff, Pearl, just to name some characters, or Gary. Um, but it's interesting though. How did somebody advertise over the years and made a lot of money doing what he did? Because so many people loved what he did. Whether it was the hidden jokes, the animation errors, or just the overall atmosphere and story, that it was the creativeness behind it. Another good example, the Looney Tunes. Shows that have been around for almost 75 years or more. You know, the original first Looney Tunes goes back to 1930s, maybe 1929. Bosco the Ink Kid, for example. And or you can go back even further than that, Walt Disney's time, 100 years ago, over 100 years ago. And the reason why that was a big deal was because somebody had an idea, they advertised it, and then over the years they had reruns of it up until whenever they took it off television, but you can still find the stuff online. And basically the smartest thing they did was archive it so people could go back and watch it. But the thing is, they've immortalized themselves because people still care about their work, their tendencies, And it's because of advertising that made that all possible. It started off as an idea, and then just years later, they managed to somehow keep it going to this day. People still know who they are and what they have to do. And so, advertising is literally the most important thing when it comes to any successful business. And if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to just survive somehow, the concept of being able to master just about anything really revolves around that concept. Getting people to recognize that you exist when everybody else is doing the same thing, doing one thing or more, and then in exchange for like money or currency. So that way you can take money and go do whatever you want with it, whether it's start a life, do something you love, and you're not just working, waking up every day feeling like you have to do things you don't like to do, and the odds are already against you know. So if you can master advertising, you can significantly see yourself in a whole new light, as well as the people around you. So again, hopefully this video kind of explains some of the stuff we'll be talking about as time goes on. Again, subscribe to this channel if you're not, like this video, share it with people you know. Also donate on my Patreon or PayPal, that's down below, if you want to support these videos. I do try to put a lot of effort into this stuff, so if there's something that I can suggest to you that is actually, valid, give me your situation and I'll tell you what I think.